what we are is the complaints. So if anyone's not happy with their service, they can come to us, like Maddie is, in terms of just asking for help. I'm not very happy with my disability service. Can you guys give me some help to sort it out with it? That's basically what we're about. So it's good for you guys to know what you should expect from your providers. I'll talk a bit about some of the complaints we see at our office, what people complain about, what they're not happy about with their services. And then talk a little bit about how you would use our office. So how you go about making a complaint, either directly to your provider or using our office. All right, so this guy here, he's my boss. That's Laurie Harkin. He's the Disability Services Commissioner for Victoria. So his job is to run our office. And like I said, our office is about listening to people's complaints about the disability sector in Victoria, about disability services, and to try and help people sort those complaints out. Okay, so that's basically what we're here. So anyone who's not happy with their service can come and talk to us. We have to uphold the principles of the Disability Act, so the Act applies to us as well. So the Disability Act has a lot of principles which talks about how people with a disability should be treated, and I'm going to run through some of those in a minute. And we have to abide by that, and that's what we work to when we work with services to make sure they're doing that as well. Okay? A really important thing is we're independent of everyone. So we're not part of the government, we're not part of Scope or UA, we're not part of a disability service anywhere. We're independent of everyone, so we don't provide services. So no one, if you complain to us about Urella, that's okay, because we're not part of Urella, same as we're not part of the government. A lot of people think we're part of the government. Right. So you can just ring us for advice. If you've got a complaint, or if you're not happy, or you're not sure if something happening at your service that you don't feel good about it, but you're not sure if you really want to make a complaint or not, you can just ring us and ask, look, this happened, is this something I should complain about, or do I just have to put up with it? And we can just give you advice. Or if you actually want help to make that complaint, we can do that with you as well. Information and education, so that's me. So this is my job, this is what I do all the time. Talk to people like you guys, talk to families. And so I talk with you guys and families about what you should expect from your service providers, what your rights are. We also talk to government about how they should make disability services in Victoria better. So we use some of the information that comes to us and try and work with government to say, you know what, this is a better way of delivering services, or here's a service that's not very good, what can you do about it? So that's the sort of thing we do. We're also free, it doesn't cost anything at all to use our service. Now, at the end of today, I've got a pack of information about us. So there's one here for each of you, so I'll give you that. And that's got a whole bunch of information, phone numbers, all that sort of stuff, and some newsletters about the sort of work we do. So the principles of the Act. So I'm going to run through some of the main principles of the Act in terms of what are the main things the Act talks about in terms of how people with a disability should be treated. So one of the first things it says is, you guys have just as many rights and should be respected just like anyone else in the community. The fact you have a disability should make no difference at all to how people treat you. Unfortunately, you guys get this sort of guff. The Act talks about you guys having control over your own lives. So for a long time, people with disability have had everyone else making decisions for them and telling you guys what's good for you and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And the Act talks about, actually, you know what, it's your life. You should be the one making decisions about what your life looks like. Simple as that. Just like apart from my wife telling me what to do, I make decisions about my life. So that's one of the tenets of the Act, that you guys should be able to make decisions about your own lives. It talks about that you guys can learn just like everyone else. That, I've learned lots of things over the last 10, 15, 20, 50 years, and you guys are going to be doing the same. And when you're younger, you learn lots. Even when you're old, like me, you learn lots. Even when you're old, like Bridie, who's about to get kicked out of YDAS, she's still going to keep learning, even though she's not in YDAS and she's an old girl. Least restrictive supports. Now that's sort of fancy words for. Some organisations will sometimes make decisions about how they provide support that actually restrict your rights, so that actually stop you from doing things. Or sometimes they'll try to give you medication, or they'll try and use some sort of physical restraints, like an arm spin or something, that stops you from doing things. Under certain conditions they're allowed to do that, but before they do that, they have to always think about what's the easiest, what's the least restrictive way we can do this? How can we do this without stopping people from doing what they want to do, and from being in control of their own situation? So they can't just do whatever they like. And if they do want to do something that does restrict your rights in some way, they need to actually go through the Office of the Senior Practitioner. So he's someone who controls what people can do with their supports as well. So he's kind of like our office, and he tells people what they can and can't restrict with you guys. The Act talks about services should be flexible and responsive to you guys. So what you want, the services should try and provide, which is pretty simple. You're the one getting the support, it's your life. So the Act says if you're going to provide a disability service, you should try and provide it in a way that suits the person and is what the person wants. Don't just provide what you think they want. You have to ask people what they want, and then try and provide that.